that you discussed in, what was that, our red, our purple?
Purple, because I stayed on brand. So we started our conversation with what are the challenges, and so and I'm gonna keep this high level, try not to get into the weeds of it all. But we talked about the impact on the creativity and arts creation in terms of like creating the work, whether it's songwriting, dancing, playwriting, and the problem of AI building off the work of the others. We talked about what's the value of promoting something in the arts that is AI, even from logo making to graphic design. We talked about AI results, not always real results, the energy climate change problem, how the data centers are high carbon footprint. We talked about Meta and how it just likes to produce bad copy. We talked about how to interact with colleagues who are not as fans of AI when you are using AI and what that means. And then we talked about policies. We'd like to know more about what policies other people may have around AI. Then we kind of got into some of the answering. We distinguish a difference between art creation and AI versus business using AI, right? And then there's an ethical thing of there's a conversation that happened about, is the experience really the bottom line regardless of its origin, right? So when you're thinking about art and how art can be created via AI, but think of that meme where the child is running down the street and you're like, that's not real, but you laughed and you enjoyed it. Does that diminish that experience because it's AI, or what? And so that was kind of like a philosophical POV that came up. Then we talked about how to use it best, and is there a difference between influencing the art and stealing from the art when you're using AI? So then we start talking about use cases, analyzing data. It's a tool like any other. A person with a level of experience and discernment should be in front of all AI that goes out. Not any and everybody should be using it. Someone who has that discernment. Learn how to talk to AI. Jam session for an AI. How to talk to AI. Not what is AI, not learn what AI is, but learn how to talk to AI. Jam session. And recommendation of Radical Communicators Network. They do deep dives on anything communications topic. I will be doing a recap email, so a lot of this will be in that. Then we went into, all right, so let's talk about how you use it, folks, in this group. And ChatGPT, email subject lines, rephrasing, reframing, all the ideas I want to express, treat it like an editor as an assistant, shorten things for social media, reduce word count. These are all the ways that folks have been using it. Google Notebook LM, feed in video links, generates a mental map, breaks larger jobs into small ones, so it helps with project managing in some spaces. All pretty much like administrative tools, right? Administratively helping to increase capacity and reduce drain. And some other recommendations, Riverside FM podcast and social media marketing podcasts are great places for information. And then we last ended up with adapting your website to be AI friendly. Because when you do Google now, it always comes up with that first paragraph of just AI, Gemini recreated stuff. And someone's like, yeah, and Mayo came up and they were like, yeah, box office seats or box seats. Mayo does not have box seats. So their conversation was about how do we get our websites to be AI friendly, so when AI does that search, all right, it's like the new level of SEO-ness. How does it pull the information we want and not fill in gaps that we don't want it to fill in? Full stop.
Thank you. Any reflection?